to my mind. Like I said, we know on an American basis or a modern basis, we know a lot of stuff. Some of us know that we should never, ever supersize another condom. We go to Rallies, we go to Arby's, we know we do not need to ever supersize anything again. Yet when we pull through that drive-thru and they ask, what size combo do you want? Small, medium, large, or supersize, we hungry. Some of us know that we should leave the house 5 minutes earlier so we can get to church or Bible study or Sunday school on time. Yet, there's always something else that pulls at us, something else that causes us to hold up and not quite get out at the time that we're supposed to. On a more serious note, some people know, they absolutely know, in their head, they know they should never step foot into another bar. They know that they should never take another drink. We're talking about knowing the truth and being set free. Scripture says you'll know the truth and the truth shall set you free, yet some people have a knowledge of a fact and they're still bound. Somebody knows that they should stop taking out their frustration and their anger on their spouse's face or on their kid's back, but when things hit the fan and they need a release from the pressure, something goes sideways. They know the truth, yet they are still bound. Somebody knows that they should stop being a side piece. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ask somebody. But somebody knows that they should stop being a side piece, yet when he calls, rather than deal with the loneliness and they're so desperate for affirmation and for gratification that as soon as he calls, dinner's made, candles lit, I'm in position. They know better, but they're still bound. To know the truth means to have a relationship with the truth that transcends your intellect and actually touches into your heart or the gut. You see, back then they didn't believe that just the mind was the center of what a person was. Back then they understood that it was the heart or the desire that drove a person. It was the heart or the desire of a person that trumped the mind, which is why just knowing something in your head wasn't quite good enough. That's why David said, thy word have I hid in my heart. Not thy word have I memorized. Not thy word have I hid in my mind. But thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against it. Here's another example. Count it all joy that when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trial of your faith worketh patience. Now you can tell somebody who's having a hard time that, you can say, count it all joy. Scripture says the trial of your faith worketh patience. 9 times out of 10, the first 3 words out their mouth are, I know but. Because even though they've retained it in their head, it hasn't transformed their perspective yet. It hasn't transformed the implicit biases. And let's stop there. Somebody say implicit.
Implicit.
Look at your neighbor, say implicit. I don't want y'all going home wondering what words we might use. Say implicit. Implicit bias is the concept that there are things behind or before you get to your logic. There are things that before they get to your intellect that color and change the way that you see things. There are things before you ever get a chance to think about it, you've already formed an opinion and a reaction. And what we talk about when we say knowing something is that we have a knowledge that goes past the mind and changes at our core and in our gut the way that we see things, the way that we perceive the world. It's not a matter of logic, it's not the power of positive thinking, but I honestly see a different picture than somebody else because that which is implicit, that which is precognitive, or that which comes before the intellect has been transformed. This is what Paul's talking about when he says that you have people who are ever learning but never coming into the knowledge of the truth. You got people who will go to academic classes, get all the crackerjack box degrees that they can get, go to the seminaries, and have never come to anything beyond an intellectual mastery. So when Christ says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, he's talking about an intimate relationship that you will have with truth that will change the way you see the world, and that transformation